Hello, this is Mr. Leopold. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about finding the slope of a line, which is from Unit 3, Lesson 5. And so what's the bottom line for finding the slope of a line? We're going to do this graphically and numerically. Okay, you know how you like peanut butter and jelly for a sandwich? They kind of go together. For me, I don't just want to look at slope, I like to look at the y-intercept. And we'll understand that a little more later as we get into more of these units 3 and 4. But slope and the y-intercept go together, kind of like peanut butter and jelly. So before we focus on our slope, what's the y-intercept? Well, imagine in football, you know, the path of the football is following a curved path. Here's the wide receiver. But since we're dealing with linear algebra, let's pretend this is just a straight line here. The ball is going along and the guy intercepts it right here. So it's kind of like the y-intercept. The word sounds kind of like y-interception. So imagine the football going in a straight line along this red line below here. And it gets intercepted on the y-axis. So if I say to you, what is the y-intercept? You'd say it's right here, which is basically negative 1.5. on the y-axis. So the y, and that as an ordered pair, it would be 0 for x, comma, negative 1.5. So it's a little tricky because it's the half there, but that's the y-intercept. So that kind of tells the up and down for a line. What we're trying to do is describe this relationship, these ordered pairs that are, this is the up and down part on the y-intercept. So now the slope would be how steep is the line. You can see it's going up. You know, it could be a positive slope or it might be a negative slope, etc. So what is slope? It describes the steepness of the line, and we defined it as rise over run. So rise is a change in y, and run is a change in x. Now over here they drew the run along below here and the rise here. It's kind of like a triangle. I like to do the rise first because that's the first one I want. It's a fraction for slope. It's going from point A to point B, from the purple dot to the blue dot. And remember, each one of these is an ordered pair. So if you're describing the slope of the line, the steepness, you pick 2 points and then you describe it. How do you go from here to there? Well, you go, in this case, graphically, if each of these is 1, let's pretend to go up 1, 2, 3 for the rise, and then 1, 2, 3 for the run. So rise over run is 3 divided by 3, or 1. So the slope is 1 here. Now, down below here, I have a different line. This red line here. And if I'm trying to describe the slope of the line, it's how fast it's going up or down. So I picked 2 points. Remember this 1.5 point here. I don't like using halves and fractions or decimals, so I'm going to just pick 2 points on this line, and I'm going to point 1 and point 2. And if you notice, I put a big 1 there, and I wrote the ordered pair here. And if you look at this real quick, it's easy to say, oh, 0, 2. But no, I do this all the time, so I always stop myself, and I write myself right x, comma, y. With the x first, and then the y for the ordered pair. So the x is 2, y, the up and down is 0. It's 2, 0. I take my time about this, and I pick another point right here, and I say, okay, x is 4, y is 1, so 4, 1. So we're going from, I kind of like to go from left to right, kind of like you're reading across the page, so I'm going to call this point 1, I'm going to call this point 2. So I have 2 ordered pairs now. Now I don't even need the graph. All I have is the xy1 and the xy2. And I'm trying to describe how you go up from this point to that point. So numerically, it means new numbers. I'm just using numbers now. I'm saying y2 minus y1. That's the change in y. So in this case, remember the y is, always write this down, x comma y. In fact, you can write here, x comma y. So y2 minus y1 is 1 minus 0. So 1 minus 0 is this up and down thing here, right? That's the change in y. So we do that, y minus y, and then we do x minus x, 4 minus 2. And up here we say 4 minus 2, x minus x. So this is the run. The run is the change in x, which is 4 minus 2. So in both ways we get we get, well, actually we get 1/2 for the answer. I discussed graphically up in the top part, but remember for this line here I didn't discuss graphically. Graphically you'd go up 1 and over 2, rise over run. In fact, you can pick any point along here, way down here if you want, and you'd go up 1 and over 2, up 1 and over 2, yeah, up 1 and over 2. So once again, graphically, rise over run. Numerically, it's the change in y over change in x. And this is very difficult. You have to do this a few times, go into that Unit 3, Lesson 5, get some practice, because everyone wants to jump in and get all these numbers mixed up, and then you don't know what you're doing. So you have to do it very slowly, very carefully, okay? And labeling your points, making what are they, and then it's y minus y, x divided by x minus x. And okay, so the last thing I want you to do, thank you for listening, is basically print this off. I'm going to send it as, you can either pause the recording and do your own graph paper and do it yourself, or you can print it off from the separate file I'm sending. And I want you to write your name on it and find the slope of this line in two ways, graphically, numerically. Graphically, you're going to count the rise over the run. Numerically, you're going to write down, like I did before, you're going to write down the ordered pair for this and the ordered pair for that, and then you're going to do it numerically. So lastly, if you look over here, this is probably the most important thing. Label the two ordered pairs shown by the purple dots. So I gave you this line here, the red line, and I gave you two purple dots here to represent two ordered pairs. So I want you to go from this point to that point, tell me what the slope is. Okay, thank you for listening, and then when you come to Class Connect, we'll do this together in Class Connect. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye.